Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eileen, and this is...
Edgar, yes, Sion. We got some clarifications that were necessary to be said. Thank you for that. So we're on. Go on, Eileen.
Okay, so as you guys can tell, Manuk is missing today. And if you know, you know. This is episode 14, and we don't
do 14, Eileen, okay? Well, this is episode what? 13 and a half.
Yes, it's episode
That's
13
right.
and a half.
And if you're from SoCal, if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, Eileen, okay, our boy is actually with us in spirit, right?
Because he's soul searching in the mountains.
Yes, but he is with us. There's no way we can have a podcast without Manu Grigorian, and it's late night with Manu, okay? So it's like we needed him here with us in spirit to guide us.
Definitely.
Right?
And so henceforth, we have his mug, his, what are these called? Headphones?
Headphones, yeah.
And we on air.
We on
We on
That's that.
All right. So Edgar.
Yeah, go ahead.
Manuk has a way of running the podcast, right?
Yes, he does.
Okay. And since you and I have been labeled leftists, progressives, and all that good stuff. And that time I caught you in the stilettos.
That was said in private, motherfucker.
How about we try something new and different?
I think so. You know, what I wanted to try was actually to engage with the people that watch us, the people that support us. It's the best. That's why we have this on here, you guys. You guys are going to communicate with us. It's going to be easier for us to see what you have to say. And if like these dirty bastards like that Tabernacle, you know, he comes and he wants to disrupt something and like be offensive and such, we're not going to have that. You know, we want like I said, we have to have this podcast today because there's some clarifications that's necessary from last week. A lot of people ask, hey, is everything cool? Everything cool? There's always a dynamic about us, okay? This is where we're not leftist in this podcast is no matter what, we all kiss and make up before we go home. Everything is always cool. Everything is always chilling. You know, we have strong characters on board and, you know, whatever opinions that we have, we are convicted with those. There are certain things I said. There's certain things Manuk said. It's like it was very, very necessary for me to have this. As you can see, there's no flags on here, no nothing. This is somewhat of a rant, you can say, but some things need of a clarification, and that's why we are here today. But we're going to interact with some of y'all.
Yes, we're going to be interacting with our viewers. So if you guys have any questions, comments, you want us to address anything, you want to talk about something, we're open, we're game. So let's go.
Okay, with that being said, where are we at now? I just want to know something, though, before we go on, okay? It's like, I helped, like, bring you on here, right? Okay, so it's like, why the hell am I co-host again? Like, wasn't I supposed to run shit? Like
reviews and feedback, Edgar.
God damn it. Like, you know, who does these reviews and feedback? Stop reviewing me and stuff, you know? It's like, this is bullshit. Where's this shovel that you have? Like, the one that you're using to dig up under me, Eileen? You guys see a shovel back there?
Hold on.
Yeah, that's how I feel at this moment.
You're always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
I am. I don't want to be a bride. It's all good.
One day, Edgar, one day.
One day, yes. So, we're going to start off with our first deal.
Let's do it.
If you could pop that deal on, move back. Okay, so I want that first video on here. I want some interactions on here. And then I'm going to clarify something of last week. But I want, like I said, let's try something different in our sense because we got an hour to kill. And I want to see what people have to say. And I want our audience, right, to interact with what I have to show them right now. Christian John, today. What's happening? We're having some difficulties. It's all good. Just when things come about, let me know so I can shut up. So did you guys know that we actually sent Manuk on a spiritual journey? Like, my boy, yeah, we're good. Go put it on.
Some of you may not know what a packer is. That's a packer. It's intended for girls under 5 to put in their underwear so that they have a bulge that mimics a penis. This is for a girl under 5. It's intended for her to put in her panties so that she has a bulge that looks like a boy's. I can't even imagine what parent would buy this for their daughter, a child under 5 years old, and then in the morning say, honey, don't forget to put your packer in.
First and foremost, thank you to this mom for exposing this and trying. Somebody has to protect the innocence of little girls. But I fact checked it. I looked it up, and there is, in fact, a website selling these packers specifically marketed for kids age 4 through 8 in the teeny bopper size, so that your little girl age 4 through 8 can put a fake penis in her underwear to appear to the rest of the world as a boy. Because nothing screams, we support women, we empower women, we uplift women.
I think the parents who support
Biggest women possible, the best thing you can possibly do to feel good about yourself is to pretend you're a man.
should be held by some law. That's not
What's
cool.
the first thing that comes to mind when you watch something like this, though? Huh? You know what I mean? It's the first thing that comes to my mind, you guys, is, this is where I can say I'm a little bit socialist, because there are certain things in my mind that, you know what I mean, even companies shouldn't even be allowed to make.
The accountability of it.
Accountability,
Yes,
absolutely.
100%.
Somebody could we're in a capitalistic society, right? Somebody can come up with a little packer. They're calling it a packer, right? What is a product like this even doing? Like, this is not a left line. This is not a right line. You could be a Republican. You could be a Democrat. You could be a progressive. But if you have a little bit of sanity, right? Mm-hmm. What is this product that you're selling? You see what I mean?
What's the point?
When I saw this is why I wanted to share it. Like, this was like just beyond everything else that we have kind of seen. It's like, what the heck is going on? Okay, this is happening in current times. Okay, this is happening under a certain administration and such. But this is where it's. I'm going to lean a little bit to the left, where it's like there are certain companies, even in capitalism, that should not exist, and this is one of them. Like, as a parent, it's like. Even with my daughter, like I've always been, it's your daughter, okay? It's like there's certain things that my wife has to wipe, clean, and whatever when she was a child and stuff. It's like, but they're gonna create a product where it's gonna uplift the child, like. Oh.
But how is having a disposable penis gonna uplift any daughter? That's my question. I am a daughter, correct? Yes. I was a child once. I don't think this is gonna add any value to me as a woman, as a person, as anything. So who sat there and thought of this and said, you know what? This is an ingenious idea and let's execute it. Let's manufacture it.
Absolutely. Like, let's manufacture something so that our daughter, okay, who's at 5, okay? I have a 5-year-old, okay? A 5-year-old of mine is like all over the place. It is. One day he likes monster trucks. The other day he likes something else. He only eats one type of food, let's say. You see what I mean? It's like something that as a parent that, you kind of have to direct them. It's a child, right? So what are these parents doing? It's like they're no longer directing children and being directed by children. Hey, mama, I want a packer. Like, you know what I mean? It's like Billy has something popping out. I want to feel what that is like. I mean, as a parent, wouldn't you say, hold on a second, my lovely daughter, like, you are better than Billy in this way, that way. You're of a female.
You're different.
You're different.
That's okay.
And it's not that it's okay. This is the other end of the spectrum. This is perfectly normal. You are beautiful the way that, whether you believe or not, that God has intended you to be. Like, are we not talking to our children right now?
No, because parents have washed their hands of being parents.
Yes.
It's sad.
Yes.
No parent wants to take the accountability of actually being a parent. It's not just popping that kid out. It's you need to raise that child. You need to rear that child. You need to make sure it's not only the food and the roof over their head. You need to make sure that they are mentally taken care of as well.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, how is this mentally taking care of anyone's
This is mentally
child? This is abuse.
Exactly. This is abuse. How are we, where are we in society that we don't see something like this and investigate the bastards who made this, okay? And whoever orders this, there used to be, there are sites where if you purchase, let's say, certain type of child thing, it's like, FBI is like right on your freaking door and stuff.
Exactly. Why isn't the FBI on this?
Why isn't like exactly like who are these people? Like, what kind of mind? I want to see like what kind of a mindset person, one creates this, and then somebody hires
and runs with
and
it,
markets it. Like, how do you market something like this? How do you convince parents?
How do you sleep at night?
Yeah.
Like, how could the manufacturer, the person who had the ingenious idea of, you know what, I'm going to make a Packer.
You got a lot of like fan here saying hi. Like, say hi to them.
Hi,
Remember, we're supposed
hi,
to,
Hamlet.
Satan is working
hi,
hard.
Pete. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We would love to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to chime in on it, you know what I mean? We're going to read your comment. We're going to let also know, like, this gentleman, this lady, they also have something to say about it. And if we miss something, this kind of helps us to see something that we missed in such story or such occurrences that you come across. Because like, I mean, my algorithm is wild. There's no question about it. But like when you come across something like this, it's like, it's mind boggling. Like, where did we go wrong in society? I want to add one more thing. Mm-hmm. Like, you made a very good point, right? So there's a current like thing, or Gen. What's this new generation that everybody's trying to take a small dump on?
Z?
Is it Gen Z? Okay, let's say Gen Z this, Gen Z that, Gen Z this. Like there's a lot of like negating of Gen Z, but I can't blame Gen Z for the parents that raised Gen Z. Okay?
Exactly.
I made this point once on a on our podcast. It's like parenting stopped. It's like kids, whether they were busy, whether the father needed to come home from work and have a beer as opposed to engage, but parenting stopped. Okay, where Gen Z is where they are today, and it's not just Gen Z doing some like god awful stuff and like identifying a certain way. Okay, it's also like look at our current streets. It's like it's all youngsters, bunch of them. They go and they hit up shops. Okay, it's like they will rob a convenience store because it's like 50 people just like rushing,
like a flash mob.
It's like a flash mob, or it's like there's a street takeover where it's like some of these videos that are constantly in our feeds that you see this. It's happening. ABC, like they'll even leftist leaning, let's say, news agencies will actually show you like this material. You see what I mean? It's like it's the parents. I can't blame them. You see what I mean?
100%.
Because it's I always look at it the parenting, because even in my worst days.
Sorry to cut you off, but yes, Jared, 100%. It is the upbringing. It is the lack of parenting. It's the lack of accountability that parents are putting upon themselves. Not even about their kids. Parents are just very quick to wash their hands of their job as a parent, their responsibility. You know what I mean? And yes, it is the technology also. It's when the technology takes over the parenting, where the iPad is the parent. What do you expect? For sure. I catch my kid doing this all the time. He'll come on and start dancing. He'll come on and like do some goofies. I'm like, hey, baby, listen. It's all cool. It's all gravy. However, you're watching content. You're watching something like, come back to reality. You have to constantly remind them this. I'm not, and I'm not going to say that I'm this. I'm not a good parent. I'm not a good this. I'm not good that. But anything that, anything out of my ordinary, you know what I mean? I have to talk it over with my child. Is it right? Of course.
I have to help build consciousness. I have to help build, you know what I mean? Direction, moral. Okay. I send my kids, like my kid goes to church, right? My family goes to church, like Sundays comes and, they go to church, whatever they learn over there. But that's not enough, right? It's a child. It's a child. Exactly. It's like, you can't
There is
assume.
no substitute. There is no substitute
no
of
substitute,
direct parenting. Okay. There is a grandma, a grandpa, an auntie, an uncle. Those are not the church, school, after school activities, whatever it is. Those are not substitutes for actual parenting. And that's where I feel the moral fabric started falling apart, is when parents started delegating everything else besides themselves.
I'm so sorry. Let me cut you off. Hey, Lori, go ahead. That flyer you had, send it to me. I'm going to send it to Christian. I will. I promised it. Manuk would have loved to share that as well. We're going to keep that in mind as well. Send that flyer. I do have something like funny to say about that, but at the same time, send it. We definitely want to give that shout out to you. Ripsi Mejan, what's up? You said hi, Edgar. What's going down? We can blame Goblin Newsom. It's not just Newsom.
It's not Newsom only. I mean, it's because Newsom isn't in your home.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Every home has their own rules or lack of. And Jared made a very, very good point. Lack of play, you know? Okay, and I want to also say...
Oh, my God. No. Jared, you are on 100. You nailed it.
Okay, so I also want to give a shout out to Jared. He was one of the first Armenian UFC fighters.
John!
2012, yes. And he was my coach.
Oh, like that, huh?
Uh-huh. Me and Jared.
Coach. All right, coach.
Me and Jared go back, way back.
Oh,
yep.
yeah?
And his dad and I have the same birthday. Can you... Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. I hate when somebody shares my birthday.
I love it.
I have to have. We get half a gift.
Yeah, and he was saying
we have to share my gift.
Kids don't play with kids anymore outside. Yes, they don't.
You 100% nailed it. Okay, as we were saying, like iPads are like raising our kids, right? The importance of play, the importance that I remember from my childhood, where it's a little more than that. Like, how about like cousins? Like some of our kids like don't interact. You know, they have like, let's say once in a month on a birthday or something. It's like they don't interact. I mean, all of my fondest memories were like me and my cousins, we were killing each other. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Same here.
We would do some god awful stuff. It's like, you know, and our parents were cool with it, like, because it was like child play. It was not like, hey, you're going to get hurt, Timmy, you know, hey, don't do that. Nah, man, go out there, like get buck wild, enjoy yourself. And with that, they learn social interactions. You understand?
Exactly.
They
Problem solving,
hierarchies. You know, all this comes when, you know, we had kids that used to play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he made a great point, and this is why I want this interaction, which is going to be because there are certain things, you know what I mean, that no matter what, I may not think of it, but it is definitely worth the discussion because that's something that might help somebody, which this will kind of help me because I do realize that where my kid, even my own kid, here I am preaching to the choir type thing, right? It's like I do realize my kid has very little play compared to how much I had, compared to how much, let's say, the generation after us had. I mean, these are like the loneliest children that I can possibly think of. Now, he's not Gen X, but can we imagine Gen X as well? They have very little to play, so they played with themselves or something, and one in so many is identifying a certain way because like they just didn't get that attention that they had, whether it was, like I said, like social barriers, you know, it's the hierarchies of even
Andres,
children.
I completely agree with you. It is the parents' irresponsibility, and it is the parents' responsibility. 100%. I agree with you on that. And yeah, I know Jared doesn't have kids, but he has ran several children's camps, boxing camps and such. So he has.
How important is that? Absolutely.
Exactly.
The discipline that they learn.
That he's instilled on so many kids, you know? So it's very important. And Stretch is saying growing up in New York City was a movie. How so?
Elaborate.
Yeah, that's
yes,
the flyer.
This is the flyer. Yes, we want to give a shout out to this. I promised it. We're going to come back to that in a second.
Can we hurry up?
No, we can't hurry up. Just give it a second. All right. So, to protect parental rights. Okay. So this is happening in Canada. When you think of Canada, what comes to mind, Eileen?
You really want to know?
Yes. Go.
Bacon.
How about maple syrup?
Yeah, that too.
How about polite people?
I wouldn't say polite.
There are polite people. Now, what happens is polite people, okay, are pulling their politeness and saying, hey, no, you know, it's like we've been polite enough, okay? It's like politeness is not getting us anywhere, okay? They're seeing certain things happening in California, right? Certain momentums that are happening in California. And we have a lot of momentum, okay? I see something like this that
Andres said hockey when it comes to Canada.
Yes. Like the Canada is known for like certain things, okay, and politeness is one of them. Maple syrup, bacon, and this and that. But what it is you know that they tried certain things. Okay, they tried certain things. Their truckers tried to convoy, and this it's like their bank accounts got frozen. It's like these people like lost a lot of financial abilities. You know what I mean? How do you stand up for something when they're gonna like send you back home
the
naked?
Conversation's going about the parents and the playing in the street and and all that stuff.
That's fine, but like this was promised. So Lori John, there you have it. We wish you guys all the best. You guys have all the information from Monuk, okay? Like watch some of Monuk's clips and you know take notes. Sometimes you just have to you have to be stubborn. You have to stand your ground, and that's where the momentum gets you. And the more power to you guys. So they wanted us to share. We're sharing it. Thank you very much, Lori. And That's
Stretch,
that.
you're absolutely right. So Godin Stretch is from New York. He's he's a New York transplant in LA. Okay,
What's a New York transplant?
he's from New York, but he
Okay.
transplanted to LA. So now he lives in LA.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, he said back in New York,
My
there
comments.
there were no rules. Average childhood fun, but times 1,000. That's growing up in New York, which is I think that was almost all of us growing up. You know, like it was the moms never got involved. At least I know with my cousins and I, it was like we would beat each other, we would, bloody each other, but at the same time, we would learn how to make up together without mommy dearest, intervening and no, you're not supposed to da. No, we learned how to do it as a group, problem solving skills. We learned not to rat each other out. You know what I mean? So if my cousin hit me I was the girl in the group, but let's say if one of us were injured, we would cover it up so the other one doesn't get in trouble. Now everyone's like, he hit me.
Back to parenting. It's like, oh my God, my child. It's not like that. You're supposed to allow a kid to get hurt. I catch that often. It's like, there's like too many. You're supposed to. This is how we learn. All of my best memories as a child was when like I did something stupid, got hurt. Everybody got like a cheap laugh or something. I learned a lesson in life. Okay, I might not want to do a backflip. I'm too fat to do a backflip. Maybe lose some weight before I try a backflip. So absolutely.
Yeah, Andres is saying our society is just way too sensitive. In the real world, everyone does not get a trophy, 100%. I'm going to go back to the martial arts thing, where there were several comments about like martial arts builds character, and 100% it does build character and discipline, which a lot of children need nowadays. They need discipline.
Yeah, but who's not disciplined? Your parents are not engaging. Your discipline comes from, like, you know what I mean? From authority. First authority is your folks, okay? Your first authority is and this kind of changes. Like for male, I don't know what it's like with females, but for males, right? One of the most important thing you can teach your son is respect, okay? Like from a very early age, you got to teach them respect because that's what's going to help them later on in life, okay? To be respectful, not to be like disengaging and everybody. No. But it's going to come to a point where a mother, right? If you like, my parent tried to discipline. My mother tried to discipline. Okay, like let's say to a certain age. When you become of like 12, 13, okay, mom can't discipline.
You start challenging your mom.
Not that you start challenging. It's like, a 12-year-old male is a strong male. You understand? Like boys are. It's like your mama will try to. I've been whooped by my mama. Okay, and I used to laugh back because it's like it no longer hurt you. You no longer cared if they spanked you. It's like you felt bad for them. My actual parent broke her wrist and her finger once, trying to pop me. Yes, and the entire. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You cannot respect that. Okay, but if you have respect, you're gonna like. As a man, you're gonna like, all right, mama needs to do this. Like, get it in, mama. It's okay, even though that she's gonna hurt himself. But who do you fear? Who do you fear? You fear a father figure because now if that guy, if you run your mouth a little bit further, or if you do anything in more addition, that the disciplinary practice when he comes, my father has never struck me. Okay, I can't remember any freaking memory. However.
Just the fear of it was enough.
Just the fear was enough, right? And also the respect that he taught. Hey, you know what? It's how do I best put this in words? We didn't do certain things in life because from early age respect was instilled in us. Okay,
yes.
So even when we could have done some stuff, so what happens was we were in a parameter, that we were in a frame, ramka, right? You had to build that.
Stretch is saying you're lucky for not getting whooped by daddy.
I am lucky. Well, I tell you what, I had a strong father. He was a big guy, so he knew his strength. But there are certain things that he did right with me and my brother, like I said, and not that we didn't challenge things. However, we had total respect for him. Okay, it's like when he would come home, I'm gonna say it even in detail. Okay, where we would be disciplined this way. When he would come home and I was laying flat on a couch, I would get up right away. I would sit upright because pops is home.
Oh yeah, 100%.
this is something. Now, here's the importance I want to make of this, okay? This is something that I do with my children now, because now I am, in my 40s, right? I am in my 40s, and I see the importance. It's not just that itself. It's that leads on to something else. You see what I mean? It's like you're respectful.
It sets roots into everything else.
Absolutely. So this is the type of disciplining that I've had, okay? And sure, I've challenged it. Sure, I've been like I've been a bad kid. I could say that. I've done some god-awful things. It's like I've challenged it because I came from Soviet Armenia, okay? What you were able to do there, and I came young, so what you were able to do there and then what you can do here and get away with here is much more, okay? And it's like you challenge it. Those are the fondest memories, But that's the importance. Like, nobody's engaging in that, It's like, to this day, it's like I'll come home, I'll see my child sitting a certain way. Hey, honey, that's just not how it is. It's because, if I can notice something, right, whether it's
someone else will as well.
It's not just somebody else. Okay, I'm not trying to like point anything, but it's like you have uncles, you have this, you have that. It's regardless. It's like if I notice it as a parent, I have to correct it. Okay, because what I'm doing is I'm protecting the innocence of my child. I'm not only am I protecting her innocence, okay, I'm also instilling her to be constantly cautious, aware of environment, surrounding. It helps within all those parameters.
We're not talking about OnlyFans right now. We're talking.
Who's talking about OnlyFans?
Lori. We're not talking about OnlyFans. Now, Godin said something. He said, Edojan, but to your point, that can be a cultural thing. I think most Armenian parents raise their kids like that. It's the American generation that's on Shinork now, not to sound rude. I can agree and disagree with that at the same time, because unfortunately what we're doing is we are assimilating in improper and, in my opinion, improper ways to American culture. Yeah. And that is one of the things that we are losing our cultural hold on our kids. You know what I mean? Like, we were talking about this yesterday. We saw a few Armenian kids, right? Anytime you see a few Armenian kids anywhere, and again, I'm speaking about Armenians because I'm Armenian.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's not a
You're allowed that. You're allowed that. Okay.
To anybody. Yeah. Okay. But I'm speaking because I'm Armenian, right? So our kids shine in a different light, and it's because of that upbringing. But unfortunately, I am seeing the wrong type of assimilation. Yeah.
I'm somewhat assimilated, okay? And this is, let's say, whether you like to believe it or not, okay? When you live, let's say, in a Russian Armenian, if you see somebody like a child who grew up in Russian Armenian, it's like they assimilate a little bit.
We're all assimilated.
Yes, we all assimilate.
Let
me just make a point.
Thing,
yes, let me just make a point real quick here. But as you get older, okay, right? As you get older, you start identifying these things. And what do? What I did was I started retracting from assimilation. Like, hold on a second. Like, this does not, this is, consciously it's not correct for me, okay? I don't see any benefit in this. You see what I mean? It's like, because I didn't grow up in a super religious household. I'll tell you the type of household I grew up in was not like Sunday's church. No, we didn't have it. But I do still continue what my parents used to do. It's like, if something good happened in my life, the first thing I did, I didn't pat myself on the back. First thing I said is like, thank God, okay? Thank goodness. Thank you for looking out for me. Something bad happened, okay? It's like the first thing that I would go to would be like, I don't know any prayers, unfortunately, and this, that. But it's like, something greater than myself, something
prayers
spiritual.
Come from your heart, though.
Yes, thank you. But to know a verse would be pretty good too. Like, we could have opened it up with that. Like, Manu thinks there's like jujus in this room, and I kind of believe it. Like, hey, get rid of the red light, okay? It resembles like a little bit of a demonish shit. Like, please, can we get blue? Can we be blue? Because we liberals, right? Red is no. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. You're the devil, Eileen. Okay, never mind. Okay, maybe they can remind it. Yeah.
But Godin, yes, I do understand there's a difference between East Coast and West Coast, because on the East Coast we have the largest diaspora in LA of Armenians. You can't compare it to the East Coast. So yes, I get it that in the East Coast or on the East Coast they're able to preserve that more than us here.
Says who? I don't think that.
Well, Godin is from New York, and he was like, over there they preserve like that, kind of like that. Assimilation doesn't happen as much as here.
Well,
I can't. I don't know because I'm from West Coast.
When I say assimilation, okay, listen. We live in America. Okay, we live in America. There's like so many things that are granted to us, and no matter how much we parent our kids, okay, when they go off on their own, okay, when they're amongst friends, okay, it's like some of the worst things I've ever done was
I
like
misunderstood. He said, no, we're super whitewashed.
They are super. This is what I was going to say.
Oh, okay,
California,
okay.
Glendale. My favorite Armenians of our groups was like the Hollywood Armenians, okay? Because I've said this before. It's not Glendale. It's not North Hollywood. It was the Hollywood Armenians because it's like over there, one person made a huge pot full of like dolma and everybody ate within. If you were in a building, if you were a neighbor, somebody would do barbecue. It's like, guess what? Every neighbor over there had it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew like a less fortunate person. That kid never witnessed, okay? Never looked at another kid's hand and said, "Oh my God, I wish I had that." It didn't happen because it's like, that is within our culture. And as you get older, right? No matter how much you assimilate, no matter how much you take advantage of like American life, American ways, where you can do whatever the hell you want, it's like you grow older and you're like, hold on a second, like what we have. Okay, our teachings is much more beautiful. Now, what I'm asking for is like, you know what I mean? It's to also try to influence some of that, because some of our white counterparts, some of our like Latino counterparts, it's like they like Latinos are pretty big on family too. Yes. I love them about that. Yes. You see what I mean? It's like that's why so many of them are, it's you meet them, you love them. It's just how it works. But again, that has to do with like their family. But when I look at like Latino, they are losing a little bit of culture. They do assimilate a lot faster than we do. Okay. Why is that? And I'll tell you why. Because as you do get older, okay, you do realize, hey, listen, I had it good. I actually had it good. You compare to what we're giving our kids or our kids are seeing. It's like, hold on a second. Let me just retract a little bit and provide some of the stuff that I've seen because of look how I'm valuing it today. Okay. If I don't give something like that to somebody, how is somebody going to be at a certain age, come to a realization and say, hey, you know what? That was beautiful. You're not. You
but
see
I
what
think
I mean?
we usually come full circle.
What do you mean?
As in, for example, when you're growing up, when you're like a minority,
hi, Jules,
you want to fit in. Okay. But then it comes a point in your life where, you're done with the fitting in and you're like, no, what I have is beautiful as well. There's room for both. I know that happened to me. For sure. Saw it, and I'm seeing it in my kids as well. Now they're asking more questions. It's interesting. When I pulled my kids out of the Armenian
school setting
environment,
yeah.
Yes, that's when my kids became more Armenian than when they were in that setting. It was kind of like they had that, what's the word? Garot, the yearning.
Yearning, yeah.
They had that yearning for, they would look and they would come, and when I pick them up, they're like, Mom, guess what? This so-and-so, she's Armenian. He's Armenian. You know what I mean? And there was like this enthusiasm that went along with that.
Hold on a second. This is my phone. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Thank you.
For sure. Yeah, all I'm saying is like, you retract. You retract from, because it's when you're afforded everything, okay, when you're afforded everything, like, where do you stop? Where does it become where it's like, you know what I mean? That you can say it adds value. It doesn't. You just keep on doing the same thing over and over. It's like a drug. It's just like a drug, it's and just like a drug, right? When somebody's on it, you really can't save that person until that person itself, okay, realizes that, hey, I need some help, right? Or if
yes,
same concept with mine. Like I said, it's like it comes to a point where like, hold on a second, like, you know what I mean? I need to help myself. I need to retract from this. And my encouragement, because of what we're talking about, is like we have beautiful ways. Okay, we have beautiful ways. It's definitely worth to
preserve,
not to preserve, but also to like pass on, or like also help like, let's say, mature others. Like, hey, check this out. When it comes to culture, okay, I accept the bad with the good. You have to. You kind of have to. Okay, we have many bad things that we do. There's no question about it. But you're not supposed to own the bad. No, we're supposed to own it, right? But slowly but surely, you're supposed to like
But you
let
shouldn't
it
hone
die
in
down.
on that only.
Yes, it's not that just hone in on it. You're supposed to get rid of it completely. And whatever you have that's beautiful, you have to amplify it. I think American culture, like Monuk once said, like, I was chilling at home. I thought white people had this. America is not just white. Okay, there are so many influences in America, you guys. Okay, it is of Latin influence. It's a lot of black. Like my favorite humor is black humor. You understand?
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. Richard Pryor is the GOAT. And scoop back. Okay. Yeah, Richard Pryor. You see what I mean? Those are like
Yes.
that's what molded my way of like looking at like something that's funny and stuff. So within all those influence, we should also influence some of our better ways because we have a lot of beauty to our culture. I don't see why people want to be so fast to, let's say, simulate and accept somebody else's and not just say, hey, check this out. We also have this. Why don't you give it this? I have some Latino friends like who we actually influence, like so much so that they were actually I'm not gonna say picked on, but made fun of. Like they would get an Armenian nickname from their own cousins. Like what I mean? It's like they'd start coming and chilling with some Adidas tracksuits and shit. It's like because it's like
3 stripes or 2 stripes?
3 stripes is
Okay.
Adidas. Okay. When we go out, right? Remember what I said? I said something. It's a little bit different in today's culture. Like, males should do this, females should do this. But within our friendship, if we didn't have money, we didn't go out. Okay. If I didn't have enough money, and it was not just enough money for myself. It's like if I was gonna go out and I had like 30, 40 bucks. This was taught by my father first and foremost. He was taught by him. Listen, if you go somewhere, you buy 1 burger, you have money for 1 burger, you have 3 friends, you cut that shit up in 3 places. Okay. It doesn't matter if it was a Latino. It doesn't matter if it was a black guy. It doesn't matter if it was a white guy. You see what I mean? I mean, my circle was mostly Armenian, but we had Latinos with us because of where I went to high school. We had and you also kind of notice, like amongst them, like a few friends would go, like one person would eat, one person wouldn't, one person would just get like some of the friends' fries. Nah, it's not like that. It's like this was taught, and this is beautiful. Okay, this is something that that has to be continued. Okay, and I have to amplify. Why? Because it's like this is something an other than Armenian, they're gonna enjoy this. This is how.
There's nothing like Armenian hospitality.
We are very hospitable people. It's like, and we get a lot of hatred too for some reason. It's like, especially up in Glendale and such. With I kind of understand why we're also a little bit flashy, but like remember what I said. Like you have to take the good with the bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But these are some things that are like beautiful about our culture, so we have to amplify it. That was my point there.
Definitely.
What was?
Where are you going?
Who's going? I'm not going nowhere yet. Okay. You guys about ready? I mean, comment section is booming. We're good. You guys ready about the next video? Huh? Not video. That one. Yes, this one.
Yeah.
Okay. You said some good things about this. Like, I want that amplified. Like, I want you to talk about that. So what's the first thing that comes to mind when you see something like this? Okay, let me read this real quick. It says, Republicans plus Democrats united against evil. How beautiful is just a message alone?
I'm always down for unity, and I am sick and tired of voting for the lesser of the 2 evils. I'm tired of that because we deserve more than that. We do. But
we deserve a lot more, better than the lesser of the 2 evils. I get you. But realistically speaking, that's what we have right now.
But we've had that since the first time Trump ran.
Okay. So
when it was Hillary and Trump.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like, okay, let's give Trump a shot, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then now it's like a repeat, except it's Kamala. It's Kamala and Trump.
Okay.
I don't know anything, honestly, about Kamala or her policies in the past 4 years. What I do know about her is that she has a very, very, it's a horrific incarceration rate.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
is that bad?
She's tough on crime. And I know that's something that we're kicking and screaming about in California because everyone's getting away with everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
But again, that was back then when she was DA.
Yes.
Things have changed. So I don't know anything about her policies. She's been very behind the scenes. I don't know anything about her as far as VP style, or you know what I mean?
I know something about her. There's nothing, there's nothing that comes to my mind that I can credit her for, other than just like, her hyena laughs, her speech is god awful. How the hell does a person like that, her articulation or when she speaks is just horrible. Like I don't want a person like that running office. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm smarter than her for some reason, and I shouldn't. I didn't even go to college. You know what I mean? It's like you shouldn't have that feeling for her. Let me say, like what I like about this image, right? We get so much bullshit, right? It's Edgar, you're a leftist. You think like this, you're a leftist. Kiss my ass, okay? Hey, it's like somebody's like super conservative, okay? It's what I want to know is like from our base camp, which I am a registered Republican, right? I don't know why, but I'm a registered Republican. From my lens on this is I like this image. Okay, it's like this takes divide away. This,
yes, 100%.
You understand? This is a leftist. Yes. This is a leftist and the rightist sitting on the same table. We don't have to agree anything, but like we said, me and Monok, at the end of the show, what do? We kiss and make up before anything. Hey, listen, we both have our convictions, right? We dish it out, but we love each other, right?
Of course.
This is what this country has lost right now, okay? And I'll tell you this, okay? The left side is actually really good. Everybody on the left, they're like, hey, look, we're all pieces of shit, but, this is the message. Everybody takes their part. In the right, there's a lot of division within the right. Okay, one person doesn't like this. One person doesn't want this. One person hates gays. One person hates this. One person hates this. You see what I mean? Where on the left, it's like, you know what? This is the program. Okay, and no matter how you feel,
I think all the crazies just came out on both sides. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it was just like the gates were open, the floodgates were open, and all the crazies decided to just come barreling out.
Yeah, I like RFK. Okay, I kind of like Trump too. Okay. Now, when you say like we're gonna vote for the lesser evils, yeah, like in my opinion, like whoever's running, it's regardless. I think Trump is the lesser evil because when you see Trump, have you seen the rallies for not just Trump itself? The hell with Trump. The heck with the president, the presidential candidate. But this is what I want to tell you, Eileen. When you see, let's say, the crowd that's there for Trump, who's like, go, like the horrible supposed MAGA people, it's like they're very open and welcoming, even if a leftist or like, some crazy person is there trying to do something like, what? Hi, brother. But when you have, let's say, certain things that has to do with like, the Kamala base or like the Biden type people, have you seen them? It's like, as soon as you come up with, let's say, a red hat that says like "Make America Great Again," which is not a bad deal. I understand he ranted this and he started to divide. From your opinion, you said like all this was cool until he started like showing
the decorum just went out the window.
Yeah, he did ruin decorum. Yes,
I said the example of like I remember the Republican Party back in the Reagan days. You know what I mean? Two completely different frames of thought, completely different. But at the end of the day, there was decorum. Yeah. There was no mudslinging, as far as there was no name calling. People weren't acting like 5-year-olds, throwing tantrums. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. That was lost. And it's like, whether I don't blame any person, but I could say I saw the unraveling of it.
Yeah.
When Trump came to power.
Yeah, he started this bullshit, and then Biden took it even like crazier. Like,
so it was kind of like, okay, it was like, okay, it was bad, and then it got worse.
How about policy wise though? Like, as far as policy is concerned, like, you don't have to like a person to say, hey, listen, he wants a border.
That's the important point right there.
Yes.
You shouldn't be voting on whether you like the person. You should be voting
or the lesser of the evils and stuff. You should want to hear
what is the policy.
Yes.
And that's what I was saying. I don't know anything about Kamala's policies. Absolutely nothing.
She has none.
So
she has none. In my opinion, she has none. She hasn't done shit for like the past 4 years other than just show up certain places.
And I could say financially, fiscally, I was like at the top of my game.
When Trump was in power.
When Agent Orange was in power.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I was at the top of my game.
Absolutely. But a certain amount of the left or progressive left, remember, we're not fighting each other. What we're fighting is ideology coming about. Okay? It's about communistic ways, socialistic ways, more taxation, more this, more that. So when we speak about two of the lesser evils, like, it's just like, you're really not evil. He's really not that evil because like he is about America, right? It's about, let's make America great again, Reagan 80, okay?
Aw.
Yeah. it's about it's about the policies, right? It's like I do want to know who comes into this country because again, I'm raising a daughter, right? It's like if like there's what's the current number today that like the amount of illegal people that are here? I'm not against. Listen, I work in construction. Okay, I work in construction. Okay, I deal with a decent amount of people that are like hard working people. Okay. When you are in construction, whether like it's roofing, it's framing, it's whatever, there's a decent amount of Latin American that come here who bust their asses. Okay, you treat them well, they will love you, and just you got to treat them well. You got to look them in the eye. You have to respect them for the humans that they are, regardless if he has paper. I don't give a fuck about your papers. Like like you're good to me, I'm gonna be good to you, type thing. Hey, jefe, let's get this done. You understand?
Yes.
I'm not against that whatsoever. I'm actually open and inclined to that because I have this experience in life. You see what I mean? So I'm not going to be like, nope, close them borders. Absolutely not. But at the same time, I want to know who's coming.
Of course.
Is it this person that wants to come to America and have a certain dream and say,
prosper?
Hey, prosper. Like something was not available in
Add
their
value.
village. Something was not available at his village or this and that. He wants something more
Better
in
life.
Absolutely, where he wants to contribute.
All of us are immigrants or children
all of us are
immigrants.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I want that guy here. That's he's great for America. There's no question about it.
Of course.
But at the same time, what's happening is like there are countries that are flushing their toilets on us. Okay, they're sending their most undesirables coming this way. So if we're talking about policy wise, right? It's like our Republican candidate is like killing on policy. Okay, when it comes to taxation, it's like I get taxed the fuck out of me. Okay, it's like, and then there are certain. I have a view of like, if people are making bad decisions, I don't want to pay for it. And I do pay for it through taxation. I don't want to make, let's all do better. Okay, let's all do better, right? It's like, but I don't want to pay for certain things because it's like, it's not about the fairness, okay? But it's a decision that you can make as a person, right? So you can make a personal decision not to do something wrong, right?
Yes.
You can, and if you do something wrong, it's like it should be upon you. Like, you get the financial problems. But no, like current democratic society throws the bill on us. Like we need to tax you a little bit more. I'm not cool with that. You see what I mean? And I also know they are pushing. It's being pushed. They are putting, let's say, Republicans and also Democrats, okay, whether it's the gay ones, it's the LGBT, like the trans ones, or the progressive ones, they are making us clash, okay? We are going head to toe, okay, because we are disrupted this way. As long as we do this, there's a lot of stuff going up in the offices where they are implementing. Yes, these are the distractions, and our side is eating it. Okay, we're on their throats. They are on our throats. No, the hell with you, Christians. Like being persecuted left and right. You see what I mean? Goddamn you, Christian, It's like, I want a boy on Monday and a girl on Tuesday. It's like, this is how it is. But that's not it. That's the distraction. What's actually going on up top, and you have to be kind of stupid not to see this, but we do have a lot of stupid people. Is it wrong to say that?
Audrina said the right word, the agenda.
Agenda, yes. This is the agenda. It's like, and a lot of people cannot see this. This is why I have no problem. Like, I don't want to just look at it in a lens where it's the LGBTQ. No, it's this. Okay, it's that. It's not. What it is like there's like she said, right? The agenda is for us to clash. Because as long as we're doing this, we're not paying attention to exactly what's going on. That heavy taxation and, like flooding our borders. Like all this stuff is happening, right? As long as we do this together and they feed us, my algorithm tells me to hate this one. And then their algorithm says like the Christian is like like I don't know, in need of like death or something. It's like as long as we're doing this, like they are slowly but surely working their way, and we are becoming more and more socialist, where it's like
they're infiltrating.
Yes.
And that's when it's like I don't want to feel like I have to be against someone. You get what I'm saying?
You could take the shit off and then like let's get the comments back on here. Yeah, brother? Huh?
This one.
Oh, we're going to the next one. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
Hey, Drew. Yes, globalization.
I don't want globalization, Drew. Okay,
so now Newsom decided to veto this bill for the $150,000 for the illegal immigrants.
Yes.
I smell an election coming on.
It is. Okay.
All of a sudden.
They produce problems. Once they produce the problem, everybody gets heated, right? Just like
and now he swoops in like a superhero.
He's a superhero now.
I vetoed it.
For the past 3.5 years, I didn't have to do shit, but the next what, 2 months or like whatever, right? Election.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, let me veto this. Like, but this same bastard passed laws that prevent parents, okay, from it prevents us from finding out what's going on, what's being taught in school, okay?
Which I'm completely against.
Yes, it's not a left or a right
That's
thing,
a right or wrong thing.
Yeah. So regardless of what he does, okay, this is pretty good, actually. This a lot of realtors, not a lot. I know a few realtors that said, hey, this would have killed the market. I think Christine was here.
Mm-hmm.
She said the same thing. That would like just absolutely break the market in a sense, right? Mm-hmm. And yes, and not only that is like what I was just talking about. Like, I don't want to pay for some illegal person here. It's like I'm trying to save.
I know so many people, legal immigrants, that aren't afforded this luxury right now of purchasing a home. You know what I mean?
Yes, and how important, like in America, like how important is for us to have like our little four corners of soil where, we take so much shit whether we're working, whether it's traffic. But when there's something about homeownership in this country where this is my corner. Everything. This is I'm the king of this, and they're taking that away from people. Once you don't have that, where are we going with this? Right? It's like, what? Somebody's gonna want to come and live the American dream in an apartment? No, there's something about
the American
land.
dream is like the white picket fence, and you know what I
mean.
mean.
That changed a little bit.
I get it. Yes, but the imagery of it.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Owning something,
exactly.
Right? It's like
exactly.
And then when you do own something, what does that do, Eileen? It also what it does is like, because we're temporary, we're here temporary, right? Mm-hmm. It also gives a helping hand to your child. You see what I mean? If I purchase something, okay, and then I'm gone, right? This is already a helping hand, because it's like now they can actually live the dream that I have, because they have a less of a financial burden. You see what I mean? What do we want to do? We want our kids to thrive. We want the best. Whatever I didn't have in life, whatever that was the goal of my father. What he did not have, what he didn't see, he wanted me to. Okay. Now it's the same concept. It's like what I don't have that I want. Okay, I'm gonna live it, not me personally, but through my lineage. I'm gonna live it. It's gonna be a little bit easier for mine. Hopefully they have a better life. Hopefully, right? It's
that's
like
the hope. Yeah,
that's the hope. It's your child. There's nobody.
Of course.
There's nobody, that we care for as much as It's our lineage, right?
Course.
It's like,
of course. Now Lucy's going back to the Trump and Kamala.
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay.
Pay attention to the chat, Eileen. Thank you.
Lucy said, "I would like more of a stand on women's reproductive rights. Why can't we just do you? I am 100% on board with that, and I find it comical when people from either side, left or right, whatever.
What do you mean? Like reproductive rights? She wants to be able to just abort kids, like
pro-choice.
Pro-choice, yeah.
Pro-choice, because there's a lot of gray area there, and I don't like extremists on anything.
Yes.
Okay. Because I've read and heard enough of, if you're this, then unfollow me. If you're that, then unfollow me. Why? Why do we need to resort to that? Why?
I'm lost a little bit. Okay. So
about women's reproductive rights, for example, why can't that be a personal choice for that family, that individual?
I never said it shouldn't be.
I'm not saying
I'm actually pro-choice.
I know you are. I know we're both pro-choice about
yes, we are.
things.
But I'm limited on what I think of pro-choice. It should be there. But I also do think like women, men and women.
And she, made a really good point about IVF as well.
What's IVF like?
In vitro fertilization.
What the hell is that?
When a woman cannot needs help with getting pregnant, basically the pregnant.
I don't want to pay for that as a taxpayer, though. Go ahead.
No, you shouldn't pay for it as a taxpayer.
Yes. Currently, I do pay for like abortions and stuff. Certain things are covered under my tax. We have to pay. Currently, there are certain states that are doing that. As a taxpayer, I don't want to do that. If you make a mistake, okay, I am pro-choice. There's no question about it. Like, you know what I mean? I am not pro-choice where like somebody should go through an entire pregnancy and like, and it doesn't happen. Those are like the exceptions. It does not make the rule. That's kind of stupid. It happens like so little that it's not even worth mentioning. You should, okay, whether it's going to save a person's life or whether, but I also want people to be responsible, okay? This is one thing that when if you play with, there's that possibility, okay? It shouldn't be easily, you understand? Like, it shouldn't be easily, like, just given to you. Here, go kill this thing. I also still think that you're killing this thing, okay? There are a lot of people that cannot have kids. So there are avenues, okay? There's a lot of things that is wrong about me, but there's also like a few things that, consciously, like I can't. You can't just like, get pregnant and just like, fuck it, like let me just kill it. It's like be a little bit more respectful of yourself, of your body, okay? And use protection or whatever. It's like you shouldn't just have it easily accessible to you. I do think you have the choice. You should have the choice. It should be there. But I also, like you said, it's on the either end of the extreme spectrum. Not. There are people parading around like, I want to get pregnant just to abort it. Like, it's just messy.
I have not seen that.
There are
but then again, I'm using your words against you. That's the minority.
It's not even worth exactly.
So why even mention that?
But well, there's a lot of mention it currently. You see what I mean? It's like it's not. What was her name that she just made this?
Lucy.
Okay, Lucy is most likely a responsible person, but God forbid. You see what I mean? It's like these are like God forbid moments where where we fall into temptation and this and that, and you should have that. I do believe as a woman you should have that because it's a child is life changing. Okay, once that thing is here, like it's about it, not you, no longer. Okay. But at the same time, it's like you have to be a little bit responsible with what you do, especially. I'm cool with it as long as there's a taxpayer. I don't have to pay for it. You see what I mean? It's like it's something you goofed. It's like, why is it out of my pocket? You're laughing because they're probably saying something god awful. What happened?
Hi, Art. Did this guy just say what is IVF?
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't know what the fuck IVF is. Like, why would I know what IVF is? I'm a man. Like. Well, what was
just
it
because
again?
you're a man doesn't mean you don't.
Was it Ivanka Trump?
Oh my God!
I have a voice. No, I voice Frank.
Shut his mic. Shut his mic. No, I'm kidding.
You can't do that.
I'm kidding.
All of a sudden, you feel like Manu Gregorian.
I'm sitting in a seat, right?
Look, motherfucker, we only have one Rick James. You ain't Rick James. You Ric Flair.
Ric Flair drip. Woo.
That's right. Yeah, so where were we with that? Why would I know what IVF is? Like, why should males know what IVF is? I don't know. It's like
because a lot of men are affected by it as well. That's why.
What's IVF again?
In vitro fertilization.
In vitro?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
So when they take the egg and the sperm and they fertilize it and then they implant it inside the woman.
Okay, so somebody wants to go through all that trouble and then abort it? Is that what we're talking about?
No one wants to abort that. But IVF falls under all women's reproductive rights.
Absolutely. That's the point.
Yeah.
See, I'm talking about like, again, it's the, I need to go this way, right? Yeah, I saw myself. Yeah. Okay. If that's part of women's reproductive rights, I am one. Absolutely. I am about family. You understand? I'm about a child. And it's so unfortunate that, there are some people who will go and do something irresponsible and kill it. Right? Where there are other people who would oh my God, they would give the world just to have a child. Just
depends
to have
on the
that.
lens they are.
Exactly. So you see what I'm trying to say? If they are actually blanketing everything under this one thing, 100%.
But that's what women's reproductive rights is. It's not just abortion. It's IVF. There's a bunch of other stuff that falls under
which is absolutely necessary.
That's what I'm saying. So, but the thing for the right are Republicans, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So the push was Trump softening up, and Trump is kind of now whether.
But I like that about Trump.
No, I do. I admire that as well, but I don't know if it's, again, a Newsom tactic of like, hey, I'm going to veto this, or hey, I'm going to say this. You know what I mean?
I don't think it is, because there's a decent amount of push for it, okay? It's like there's a decent amount of push, okay? It's because if that's part of that, I just learned something, Eileen. Okay, that IVF, like we just talked about, I didn't know that is part of that.
Obviously.
Okay, so that automatically, the amount of people and support, even even if you are against abortion in itself, as a human being, you know what I mean? If you do have a child and you've lived this blessing, it's like, of course you want to wish that on somebody who wants it, and especially within that difficulty. So there's a decent amount of push for it that he cannot veto it, in my opinion. You can't, because there's a
If he's
decent,
smart,
yes, there's a decent amount of push for it. Okay. Unfortunately, our algorithms, because they want us to like bump heads, or they only show us like those crazy, like liberal ass crazy ladies. Like, I want to, like, somebody impregnate me so I can kill it. Like,
Yeah.
no. This is what's fed to us, right?
So, but okay, so exactly, it's fed to us, but just because it's fed to us doesn't mean we need to eat it. You
No,
get what I'm
absolutely
saying?
not. Exactly.
We need to do our due diligence and do our own research of what's being fed to us.
This is the due diligence. Like, see, I learned something, right? You know, it's like somebody said, like, hey, he doesn't know what. Yeah, I don't know. You know,
Drew's saying, Edgar, why do you think women are running around aborting babies on a Friday night?
because they are, okay. That's my algorithms show me that like 24/7. Okay, these crazy like red, like green, blue-haired people are just like, somebody please, and they're kind of ugly too. Nobody's gonna impregnate them, but they want somebody impregnated because I want to kill it, because
have not
these
seen
MAGA
anything
people,
like
these
that.
Christians, you know, because it's fed. It's fed. I'm making light of it. I'm making fun of it because I can understand that it's fed. Okay, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to be in, you know, in a certain deal that we're in, right? No, not when we're in. We're not associated closely, but we are part of that. You see what I
Okay.
mean? Because we believe in, like, you know, parents having rights to their children, and like schools shouldn't take certain things over. Okay, these are our people, loca, right? Leave our kids alone. Like, that's my boys' organization. Okay, we are part of it, whether you know you think or not. But it's just like, I'm not gonna shy away from that. Okay, like, you know, it's hard for me to say certain things because, and I'm okay with it, even if they look at me in a certain light, because that's my belief system. You know, I believe different from you. However, there are certain topics that we are together. Like,
And
I will
that's
ride
okay.
and die on that hill with you guys, and it is okay.
And it's okay. We can
is
learn.
okay.
That's called discourse.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? In psychology, it's called rupture and repair. You can have a different ideology. I can have a different ideology. We could even bump heads about that ideology. But at the end of the day, we can also sit around the table, and I could learn something from you. You can learn something from me. I think that's the beauty of it.
Yes. Why does this thing keep like? I like it. Right here. Okay, got it. My mic is whooping it out.
That's funny.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. So it's upright, just like I like it. Huh?
Tighten it.
It's good. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? I'm speaking to the mic.
What? Sure for a short time for what?
And by the way, Drew, I don't think that's the case. I'm making light of it. I'm making fun of it because, like I said, there are certain things that's fed to us. The way I look at it, like I said, it's like there's a lot of things, like even like social media and stuff. It feeds us. Okay, it feeds us. It kind of, the algorithm or the AI system, it understands what triggers us and this and that, and it feeds us something. So we are constantly engaged. I can identify that. You know, I see it. I have two accounts. Right? I have my business account. And I have my personal account. My personal account is god awful. Like, I will never share my algorithm with anybody. It's just embarrassing. Okay. On my business end of it, like, it feeds me something else over here. It feeds me because he hasn't figured me out on the business end. Like, I don't engage too much of it. I get some like really decent amount of like material where I can make a decision. But on the other hand, you know, understand, it's like it's constantly like feeding me that like Drew wants to go do something wrong and kill it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. But I can identify it. I can say that, you know what? No, this is too generic. It's not generic. It's not organic. It's generic.
Yeah.
It's made up. I do feel it. I feel it in my bones that it's just like constantly feeding me something to keep me angry, right? On something where it's absolutely not true. And again, I want to thank you for that. I didn't know that, right? With IVF, I thought it was just one specific thing. And you'll be surprised. Like, there's a lot of people like me. I don't give. Yeah, right? It's like,
But the difference between a lot of people and you're open to listening. You're open to, because a lot of times what happens is they hear, like, you know, women's reproductive rights, and the first thing that pops into their head is just abortion, right?
that's because these poor bastards like myself have this god-awful algorithm that wants you to this is abortion.
But all it takes is
This is the importance of these podcasts. okay? Where you didn't just school me. This is on record, right? It's going to school somebody else like me, like a little bit of a Neanderthal, like somebody who doesn't give a shit about, it's like.
But the Neanderthal needs to be open to hearing. You get what I'm saying?
Because a lot of them don't know that that's part of it. And I'm pretty sure if that's part of it, right, there's probably other things that are part of that as well. No, if it's not going to just stop at IVF. It's probably other stuff. It's abortion, it's IVF, it's something else where they're not mentioning that because so many like males like as myself, like, yeah, I'd be open to that. Absolutely. Like
that's my argument. It's like if you're going to talk about one thing about something, you need to talk about everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can't just stick to something that's just going to forward your agenda. You know what I mean?
Yes. But that's it's done on purpose, Eileen. Okay, it's done on purpose. Is because there's like works going on. Okay, as a kid from Soviet Armenia, I played chess, and there's actually a video of me where they took a video of me. I play multiple people at the same time. I don't know what happened. Okay, like America fucked me up. Okay, it's like I went completely.
Side note, chess. Obviously, you're from Armenia.
Yes.
Chess is mandatory in schools in Armenia. And did you know the literacy rate in Armenia is 99.6%?
Yes.
Okay,
Eileen. I used to play multiple people at I came to this country at 7, so about 7 years old. Okay, I used to. My coach had me play multiple people at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that told me if you process that, it's like I can forward think, right?
Yep.
Because that's all chess is.
Yep.
That's all chess is. It's like forward thinking. So that's why it's
critical thinking.
It's critical thinking, problem solving. This is
one step
analytical.
ahead.
Analytical.
Exactly.
You understand? You're taking things. What happened? Oh, I need to go over here again. All right. Why couldn't I? Okay, well, it's cool. Yeah. So.
So in the book that I had written, the coloring book, that's one of the things about Armenia is the facts about Armenia.
Yeah.
That chess is mandatory.
Yeah.
And for so many reasons. And it's so, I wish it was mandatory here.
Absolutely. It did a couple of steps ahead. So even though America fucked me up, okay, and it did, too much was available for me to do, and I did. I took advantage. Unfortunately, some of our Hayastansi parents, right? Like we come from Soviet era, okay, and they came here. It's like they didn't know what's important here, okay, what works here, what doesn't. So it was like a heads or tails for them as well. They did the best that they possibly could. Some that were like smarter or this and that did way better. You know what I mean? There's people that came with from different areas, like let's say Lebanese Armenians, we have Iranian Armenians, and all of us have a different upbringing. We have a different idea of life because of, let's say, Iranian Armenians. They lived in like a Muslim country. You know what I mean? It's like it's different view of life. Okay, we
were under constant threat.
You're constant threat, and this. It's like preservation of culture when you're constantly a threat.
Yes.
I in my opinion, I think. Iranian Armenians, they speak they preserve the best of the language.
Can I correct you on that?
Okay.
It's not Iranian Armenian because Armenians aren't Iranian.
Yes.
They're Armenians from Iran.
Okay, but that's it. Okay, Iranian.
No, because Iranians are Muslims.
Yes.
Okay.
But when we refer to Iranian Armenian, I get it.
The word
you're playing...
I don't agree with the word Barskahai or Beirutahai. I don't agree with that because you're Armenian.
Yes, but
from Iran.
Yes, but let me tell you the importance of why I say it, because it's important to mention it, okay? Because again, we have different views of life, okay? You grew up in one certain environment. I grew up in a different. My influence was more Russian, isn't it? Because I'm Soviet Armenian. It's USSR.
Yeah.
Okay, you are mandated to wear a fucking red scarf when you go to school.
No, Armenians can't be Muslims unless they convert to Islam.
Armenia and Christianity.
That's the reason we've lost millions of people is because of our faith.
Yes.
Being Christian and upholding and fighting, going to
we carried
death.
The cross all the way to 2024, and we are hated for that right now. Okay, we carried the cross. I'm so sorry to say this, but I'm not sorry to say this. Kiss my ass. We carried that cross with the difficulty of it. There's so much persecution of Christians, right? There's so much that even today, where it would have never million years, it blows our mind. How the hell is how are we still being persecuted for living a certain way that is tolerant of a Muslim person, that is tolerant of a Jewish person, that is tolerant of a Buddhist person, of an atheist. Go to these countries where the predominance is Muslim, is let's say Jewish or so, you get picked on left and right. Okay, so This is why I love Christianity. You see what I mean? Within Christianity, everybody has like a place. Everybody can express their opinions or life ways. Like nowhere else can you do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is why this is why it's right. Like, you know, I told Manuk, like, I don't have the same conviction as you. I don't. But it's not that I see the direction. I see the truth. The truth is, my truth is still, even though I don't have the conviction, I'm still searching it, and it's in within Jesus Christ. It is. I am my best when I'm searching that. You see what I mean? I don't want to say tolerant, okay, because I'm not a tolerant person. I'm not. Like, you step on my foot once, you know, it's like second time I'll let you know, hey, don't do this again. I'm not tolerant. But within this, it's like everything else is possible. And then once we allow everything to be possible, hold on a second, you're going to get up now, persecute me? This is my only fight with Christianity, where we shouldn't allow for that. We are so accepting that we allow others to come within us and thrive.
We're not cutthroat.
Yeah, this is my fight. This is why I can't just easily blame somebody. You know, people are going to do whatever you allow them to do. If you allow that, and history has shown that time and time again, where it's only this one specific faith that allows for everybody else to come around us. And once they start thriving, we're persecuted again. Get the fuck out of here. This is my deal. Let me know when.
Yeah.
I want to address something from last week, right?
Yes.
And then maybe we could do that and like close it out. Like,
yes. Yeah, that sounds good.
I've been running my mouth for a decent amount of time, I think. Right?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So first and foremost, last week, over there. Last week, there's an apology that's due, and I'm gonna be the bigger guy here. I'm gonna apologize to nobody, but I'm gonna apologize to one specific person, and that's gonna be to Maria, because I said it, like, I respect this girl. She can see my struggle, and she'll send me something. I appreciate that. I so appreciate that, and sometimes I do need that. Whether it's for my posting and stuff, like, I post some god awful stuff. Okay, it's like I give my opinions. I think it's funny. Some people find it funny. Some people do not. But even within that, it's like she'll share something that I will read, and it kind of for me, it's the truth. This is the type of person that can actually, like, help me guide within my fight to the faith. Now, certain things were said. Like last week, I did say sometimes you want to, put a bullet in God's ears, or God's eyes, right?
Okay.
It was not said in where I want to do this, but it was more of the demons that you do fight, okay? And after I did say that, Manuk did leave. He didn't like it. He called me, what is it, blasphemous? I'm blasphemous on that. Okay.
He condemned both of us to hell.
Yeah. He condemned both. It's okay. It's Manuk, we got our emotions going. And
but I'm so sorry. I'm going to cut you off on that.
Go ahead.
But see, it's behaviors like that from Christians that turns people off
100%.
to, you get what I'm saying?
100%.
So
100%.
Okay,
I'm
go
on
ahead.
it. Absolutely.
Go ahead.
But that apology is due. And then the apology that I honestly want to make is because also Maria said, Edgar, it's like, we have kids watching. Now, it is Loca podcast late night. I have a god-awful dirty mouth. I like to cuss. I can best express myself when I think with a bad, foul language. But however, it's like I said, my kid could watch. Maybe I'm the one who set all this in motion because my son watches. He's only 5 and stuff. But like I said, I like bad kids, right? But at a certain time, I'm going to respect that, because they did say, hey, listen, some kids watch it. So some of our people also want their kids watching, okay? Whether it's like testosterone driven and me and Manuk are at it, whether it's opinion that they want their kids to see, hey, this is how it is. Don't be a soft. Don't be this. Don't be like not opinionated. You know what I mean? Don't just go along. It's like, and that's where my apologies due, because if we're going to do something, okay, if we're going to amplify something, yeah, I also have to accept responsibility that, okay, like more people are coming on. Somebody feels comfortable that even foul mouth Uncle Edgar, they need their kid to see what we have to say, okay? And within that context, I definitely owe certain people an apology, okay? But I'm not going to apologize, okay, for what I said in the context of what I said, I never wanted to shoot God.
It was an analogy.
It was an analogy where sometimes I fight myself. I fight demons within myself. It's
that's raw, and
yes.
there's nothing wrong with living in your
it's not that it's
authenticity
wrong.
and being
It's
raw.
not that it's wrong. Okay. I actually got hit up by some of our mutual friends. Okay. Some of them said, Edgar, I understood exactly what you're talking about.
Every single person that hit me up regarding that whole incident last week.
Yeah. I had a few people myself. Edgar, I had that in my life.
He spoke exactly. And it's like the boogie monster, in the corner that no one wants to talk about, but it's there.
It's there.
And it's very healthy to address it, because you don't know what is said can help someone else in their, in their
How about
fight.
something that I said, not even helped them, it kind of helped me. Like, look, everybody that came into, let's say, my DM said, Edgar, like, I was there. Mm-hmm. Okay. I actually and they were praising God that they were able to find your way. And this is the beauty of it. And I like the assurance, Edgar, you will find your way. I will find my way. Okay. Somebody can't show me the way. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean?
What was I saying earlier?
That's exactly.
You can lead a horse to water.
Yes.
You cannot make it drink.
Yes. And unfortunately, I did hurt our buddy's feelings where he did storm out. I think it was just,
that was not the intention.
It was a Russian
all.
borscht or something, right? Or a Uzbekistan pilaf, where there's a bunch of ingredients in that bitch, right? It's, that's what it was. Where Manuk also thought that within prayer, and I just went over that. I did not say that within prayer.
No, you did not.
And when I do go look over it, right? I do give my boy the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. The entire time I am searching. I have my eyes closed. I am searching. I need the prayer, because this is our boy. You see what I mean? There's no way I'm going to take shots on him. Manuk is our boy. But if you're going to be hurt from conversation, right? If I can't bring up something that's like painful to me, and you're just going to condemn me on it, you shouldn't. Okay, that is. I understand Christianity says like what I said was blasphemy, but that's if I'm directly making that. But I'm saying these are like some thoughts that I get. If somebody could come in and guide me, right? Which maybe I'm looking at it incorrect. Maybe it's not this, oh my God, conviction
when
where
the
I feel the Holy
is
Spirit.
Ready, the teacher will show up.
Yes.
We have to be ready for it.
But that was I needed to clarify that, because again, our boy is up in the mountains soul searching because of the stuff that we said, you know what I mean? And Eileen, if he comes back with tablets, we are screwed. We are hell-bound. If he sees anything burning up there, we are hell-bound, woman. Yes,
Is his name going to change too?
I don't know. Stop it. We're not going to go there. Okay? I'm going to have my one silly moment on it, but we did send my boy soul searching when I need the soul searching, right? My boy wanted to and God bless him. I actually love it. Okay? This is multiple time that he's out hiking. That's something that I do, right? That's something that I do that I love. I don't like gyms. I like going up in the mountains. Going up any incline is so good for your heart. I'm a smoker. Okay. Before I used to go up a pair of stairs, you know what I mean, a flight of stairs, and I was done because I am a smoker. And
but what did I tell you about him? To know him is to love him.
Yes, to know him is to love him. Mm-hmm. There's never love lost. No matter what we do, at the end of the day, it's always kiss and make up. It's just how we roll, We're not, we're labeled leftists, but we actually, we act a little conservative when it comes to certain things that are important.
Yes.
Eileen, I think we did a decent amount of time today.
Yes.
This was very important to me that I clarify this, okay? We have friends, mutual friends and stuff. It's that I needed to give this, and if there's an apology to be made, I'll make it. It is what it is, okay? Because it's sometimes I love speaking my mind. I do. Mm-hmm. This is okay. Within that, we can find, because there's a lot of people that are shy of saying something that needs to be said sometimes. How can we discuss a sensitive topic where it needs to be discussed, where we're on different spectrum of thought, but we have this commonality? Unless it's mentioned, we can't talk about it. I want to thank everybody who did come into my direct messages and said, Edgar, you know what I mean? I had that. I needed that. Okay. And on that day, it's
it's a validation.
It's a validation.
Of course.
I'm not the only one.
Yes.
And it gives me so much more hope that I will find my way. Because I said, I know no matter what I do as a Christian, okay, as a Christian, I'm a better person. I sleep better. I live better. I do better. I help better. Okay, it doesn't just become about just my own throat.
Mm-hmm.
I am better when I chase something that unfortunately, I'm not truly convicted just yet, because my mind is of chess. It's analytical. Okay. A lot of religions within our Christianity, so many denominations, like, you know, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be disappointed because they're hellbound. And it was just this one that was correct. It's like, you know, it's like with my luck, I'm probably not going to be correct. It's like I've made bad decisions in the past. Chances are I might make a bad decision in the future, but it's worth saying. Okay. It was worth for me to apologize.
And on that note,
yeah, go.
I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Would love your feedbacks. Hit us up in the DMs and let us know. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Oh, Audrina said transparency is honorable. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 100%. That's where you start breaking those barriers. 100%.
There are a lot of stuff that it's like, I'm supposed to be considerate and we can't talk about it. But within me being considerate, you being considerate, you know, there's an elephant between us that we need to address. If I can't freely speak, then we really can't.
That's when discernment should be used. You get what I'm saying? Discernment is huge.
Yes.
You know, you need to discern the situation and.
But I'm also working on being a little bit more sensitive. You know, you said something. I think it was yesterday. It's not a lot of things. I'm like, it's not upon me to like correct. You know what I mean? And within those lines, I'm still trying to find my footing in that. Okay, but I am a work in progress. I will never say that. One of my favorite phrases is like, listen, you know, I can change course, right? I can change course. It's like I don't know everything. I'm learning. I learned about IVF today, that it's being part of this. If you close your mind to certain things, you're done. Mm-hmm. You're done. Like
amen to that.
Okay, I will never respect you. Okay, the way that you preach to me will like be equivalent to like, you know, flushing the toilet down, because now I know that you've closed the door on a possibility. You see what I mean? I only knew of abortion of this, but if there's like a lot of attendance, it's not the whole truth. It's like, why are you withholding the complete truth from me in order for me to make a decision? Exactly.
Agenda. Yeah.
Eileen,
and on that, let's close
it
out. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in and watched us. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's Friday, right? Yeah. Have an amazing Friday.
You guys are a bunch of losers. On a Friday night, you guys are just watching us.
Oh my God.
You should have been doing something about drinking. Party. No, that's not Christian of me. That's very non-Christian of me now.
All right, guys.
Hey,
have
thank
a good
you, everybody.
night.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week with our Manuk Grigorian, where he was actually with us today. We you know, he's always in spirit with us. Yes. He's our boy. He's the man that said, like, kiss my ass if you touch this flag, and that's admirable. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Peace. Do I shut this off?
It should be off.
Do I exit?